Um, how the fuck do you start a vlog? Hi. Um, this is nothing but something stupid to distract myself. A lot has been going on in my life. I don't know if I'm feeling like this either because I'm sick. Maybe I should lay down. Maybe, but like, have you ever just felt like you sat in one place for too long and you just feel like you can't get on with your life? I mean, I'm 18. Like, I turned like 18, like, what, 4 or 3 months ago? And once my birthday hit, it just feels like, it just feels like, it just feels like I'm an adult now in the state's eyes, and I have to do all this stuff, but I don't know how to do it. Nobody's really taught me, and teaching myself is hard. Going through college, like I started this IT career thing, and apparently it's supposed to make you set for life. It's supposed to, like, after you're done with school, like, it's supposed to give you money and help you out. And I've been without a lot. Shit. I've been without a lot. And I've been just like, I don't like seeming, I don't like coming off as a selfish person. I don't like people perceiving me as somebody who's selfish. I like helping people as best as I can. And like, it just, this mentality has worsened. Well, I wouldn't say worsened. Like, after what happened to me when I was 15, it's just, I've gotten a little scared because I've been around people who, I don't know why, but they just didn't like me. Like my friend, me and my friend, we were dating at one point. Me and her were on very good terms until they came around and another guy came around. Like, we met the guy first in high school, and he was really nice to us. Oh shit, I thought that was a bug. He was really nice to us, and he, like, at first he came up to me, asked me, "Hey, do you want to date or something?" At the time, me and my friend were still dating, and I told him, "No, I'm in a committed relationship and I'm very happy." And at the time, I was dealing with a lot of shit, fighting with my mom, I guess, trying to get her attention, trying to get her to listen to me, and trying to get my sister to listen to me, because at the time, I just didn't feel like, I would be okay if I just let things that I didn't want to do or I felt uncomfortable doing happen. And like, once I said something about stuff that I felt uncomfortable with, my my mom and my sister, me and my mom are on good terms right now. Me and my sister are on good terms. I love them to death. But it's just the fact that back then, my mom, I understand she didn't have the knowledge of dealing with certain emotions, and back, maybe something was wrong with me. Something probably is wrong with me, but it was really fucking horrible. I didn't want to be. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to, like, everything. Like, I just felt like I couldn't get out. Like, everything that I do, I just felt so afraid to go back home and face my mom because of how extreme they would react to me. So I I'd put up this defense, I'd put up this wall, and so that way maybe if I don't bother them, and if they don't bother me, maybe shit won't happen. But off topic, but yeah, so the guy came up to me, and I basically just sorry, I basically just told him everything that was going on. And it was really refreshing to hear that he was able to listen to me, and he was able to hear me out and talk to me. It was refreshing to have someone other than my girlfriend at the time to just like it was refreshing to have somebody else talking to me except for just my girlfriend, because at the time I had shitty social anxiety. And I don't know why, but just people say I looked scary and I looked unapproachable or something like that, when in reality, no, I don't mean to look scary and shit. It's just that I don't know. I really don't. And then like they put in the factor that I'm tall and like my features are more like not my features weren't in the category of normal women in society standards. And so I became really self-conscious about my body, and I remember feeling really, really jealous of my girlfriend's body. The fact that I just felt like maybe if I had her body, maybe I'd have more people to just notice me. You know, it sounds shitty, it sounds dumb, it sounds stupid. I mean, it's just, thinking back on it now, it just hurts a lot. It hurts. And like the fact that a boy was showing me attention, I do admit I did get carried away, but what do you expect? I was 15, 16 at the time, wearing provocative clothing, trying to stay in his good grace, trying to just, I don't know. And then if anything, the guy was just around for our bodies. I remember going to him saying that if you want to do all that, you got to go through me. And he started doing explicit stuff to me, touching my breast, and then I mean, of course, I consented to it, because me at the time I thought, hey, if I lost my virginity at this age and I'm a woman, maybe I'd be more cool in society's eyes, if that makes sense. When really at the time I really didn't have to do all that. I just did. I thought that was the right way to do stuff, and nobody was really around to tell me that I'm worth more than that guy saw me. I lowered my standard to where I lowered myself to where I only dressed to impress and not sorry, my friend sent me a message. And not for myself, when dressing in whatever clothing nowadays should just be about expressing yourself and who you are. And at the time, I just wanted to express myself without feeling like I'm being constantly judged by people, and I wanted to do that in order to not, I wanted to do it in a way where people didn't view me as some type of freak or some type of weirdo, which hell yeah, I'm 100% a weirdo, but I didn't want people to be uncomfortable around me, and I didn't want them to think of me just I was worried about what people perceive me, how people should perceive me, and how I perceive, not how I perceive myself, but how I be perceived in society's eyes, and in my mom's eyes, and in my dad's eyes. And it just, it ended up in me making a lot of terrible mistakes, and it made me overlook a lot of red flags, because there was a lot of red flags that I noticed, but I just felt like maybe I'm overreacting, or maybe it's just, he doesn't mean no harm or anything. He actually was into us, because at the time we were thinking of doing a 3-way relationship, and at the time we've failed so many times with, guys who tried coming in and in our relationship. And to sum it up, that nigga wasn't worth it. His dick was tiny anyways, and I let's just, after everything else happened, like 2 more people came in. They came in, they fucked up our lives even more, and they fucked up our relationship. And I don't know why the girl that she let in, she ended up letting my ex ended up letting her friend's boyfriend in the house that she was staying with. And I told her it probably is not a good idea, because it's just not enough room, and it's bad. It was already bad enough that our living situations were not good, so I really didn't know why she'd think to try taking care of somebody else when nobody was taking care of her. And I get where she was coming from. She's a very kind girl. Everything that she's done for those people, it was out of the kindness of her heart, because I thought I could trust them. She thought she could trust them. But like, at the end of the day, the girl, her friend, ended up taking advantage of her, like just asking her for food, eating up all the food in the house, not cleaning shit. Just, her boyfriend ended up cooking one night, and guess who cleaned up the kitchen? This guy. Like, what the fuck? And like left moldy food in the pot. I had to throw the pot away. It was a very good pot, big enough to make a fucking roast, and it was a waste. And this continued and continued and continued. Every time I tried putting my opinion in on something, like I was like 16, yeah, 15 or 16. They've stayed with us for at least 2 years. And throughout those years, I tried putting my input on stuff that they'd suggest to be either stupid or plain out dangerous. And like they'd just look at me like I'm just another kid in the group, when my friend at the time, he was like, what, 1 year older than me, and my ex was 1 year older than me as well. And if anything, they treated those two more like adults, and they treated me as some kid who's tagging along every time. It got to the point where every time that we would drive to places like Walmart and stuff, like, I just feel like I'd be ignored, or I just feel like I'd be like a third wheel to a friend group that they'd say that I'm part of they didn't make it feel like that, and they just disregard me a lot. And they'd like one time my friend ended up taking me and my ex-girlfriend to her boyfriend's house, and she said her boyfriend at the time had a problematic history of his family being just not good people. And is and yeah, like we went in there, everything went fine. Like this was Thanksgiving, and everything went fine. And like low key not low key, my ex, she ended up asking, hey, I'm hungry, you want to come in there and make something to eat with me? And I looked to my friend and I asked her, hey, could you maybe like go in there with me, because it's not my house, and I'd feel a little like disrespected if not disrespected. I'd feel a little uncomfortable if I just walk in there and help myself. And she was like, no, go get a plate. It's fine, it's fine. Me being the dumb bitch, she took her word, went in there, and at the end of the day, I got yelled at by her boyfriend's drunk uncle. And so, I got anger issues. I'm not gonna lie to you. I run my mouth, but sometimes I know my limitations and I know when to shut up. But at that time, he kind of just pissed me off. So I walked out of there, called him a bitch, and then left. And like at the time, I thought that my ex-girlfriend would be like, "Hey, you're right. You had every right to do that," or like you had every right to, react the way you did, because like why the fuck did he randomly yell at me just for dropping the top of the pan for the turkey lid? And my friend comes back and she was like, thanks to you, I can't come back over there anymore. And I'm like, how is that my fault? Like if you knew how that man's family was, why the fuck would you put us in that position? Why the fuck would you not use your dumbass head and go in there with both of us, your so-called best friends, to go and help us get food? Or not help us get food, just stand. We only just asked her to just stand in there, so I don't know what the problem was. And yeah, after that, like my friend, she ended up coming back to me and saying that, hey, maybe you were a bit wrong, maybe you did overreact. And so I was like, what do you mean, are you taking her side? And like I remember just having a bad meltdown, and she just she just kind of watched me. I don't I don't like I have a thing to where like when people watch me cry, I just feel like either they're judging me or they're just looking at me in pity. I don't like to be pitied. I'm sure nobody likes to be pitied. Like it just like all she could do was just watch me sit there cry. I didn't have anybody around. I just felt really I felt like I had nobody. And after that, I ended up calming down. She ended up talking to me, and I don't know what happened after that. And yeah, after that whole situation, a lot more stuff ended up happening, and it got to the point where I just ended up like leaving and not wanting to be like at my girlfriend's house at the time. I didn't want to be at my house because who the fuck wants to still stay with their grandparents? And it's bad enough that my grandparents, like, they, like, people may say they care about you, but like, people may say they care about you, but at the end of the day, some people don't know how to show it, and some people, like, my grandparents are the type to pick favorites, and let's just say I'm not one of their favorites. My mom's not one of their favorites. My sister or my brother's not one of their favorites. So yeah, like, my just fuck, I got off track. Yeah, so I went back home, and something good happened out of me going back home. Like, the whole reason why I went over there was to just get away from my mom, because we were still in the middle of fighting. And I went back home, and me and her ended up talking. I'm sorry, it's just a lot of hormones are going through my body. Just please, just give me time. Yeah. A lot of, like, me and her ended up talking, and she expressed that she had problems with communicating, and she didn't know how to communicate. But now, like, you don't see a lot of people her age try to break out of the bad habits that her people like her family's passed down, you know? And she told me that once she's educated herself, she realized that half the shit that she's said and done to me was pretty messed up, and she apologized. And then I told her that, you know, I feel the same way. No. Like, I told her that I know I said a lot of messed up things, which I did. I mean, I think I called her a bitch at one point, but I ended up apologizing for that. I ended up saying that even though she's done a lot of stuff to me, I'm willing to forgive her because I wasn't completely, even though I was still a kid, I wasn't completely innocent myself, because I did say some hurtful things to her, and I ended up apologizing. And so, like, yeah, me and my mom's relationship from there kind of, you know, went good. And I don't know about my sister. Like, me and my sister also got into a lot of fights, and she's also done a lot of things to me. I'd like to talk to her about it one day, but she's, back then, my main problem with her was just the fact that she didn't know how to deal with people having emotions, and people having, like, people just, she didn't know how to deal with people's emotions, and she still doesn't know how to. And I would love to talk to her one day, but she's just really hard to talk to, and she just comes off as somebody who thinks of herself, and I really hope she gets out of that, but I don't know. But yeah, after that, of course I stayed worried. Of course I stayed worried about my ex, because at the time, yes, she was my girlfriend. Kept calling her, checking up on her, but it seems like she was more busy with her three friends at the time, because after everything that happened, I didn't consider those assholes friends anymore, because they've burnt, like, actually, like, I wouldn't say I didn't consider them friends. I just felt like I couldn't trust them anymore. I felt like I had to keep my guard up, and I had to just watch every single thing that they did, because they were fucking psychopaths. Like, who the fuck listens to a man at the age, while you're like 18, just starting your adult life, mind you, that, oh, I want to start a family. Oh, I want to, I want to, I want to have a baby. I want to have a daughter. I want to get married. I want to stay in a house with you, or just grow old with you and have a kid. I mean, I'm sure if any naive girl heard what that guy kept saying to my ex's friend at the time, I'm sure any naive girl would fall for those types of words. And naive she was. And I don't know if she's grown or not. I don't give a fuck, because because like I said, too many bridges have been burned, and she didn't care about me. Why the fuck should I care about her? Plain and simple. She didn't care about my ex at the time either, and thankfully my ex has came to realize that. And yeah, just like she'd go on tangents on how I'd be like the godfather or something, and my ex would be the godmother, and my ex ended up taking that offer, and I wanted to take it at one point too, but my mom reminded me, yeah, you're still 16, so you can't really do that. She can't really do that. And like every time she bring this topic up, instead of asking, hey, would you like to be the godfather, she'd be like, yeah, you're gonna be the godfather. You're gonna take care of my baby. You're gonna babysit my baby, and you're gonna help me. You're gonna take care of it. Basically, she kept trying to push that responsibility onto us when we were just fucking kids. And yeah, and her boyfriend wasn't good. Like, who the fuck just sits down playing on the game every single day while their 9-month-old baby, when their 9-month-old baby is fucking in your so-called girlfriend's stomach. And like me trying to be a good person, I kept mentioning to him, hey dude, my friend, your girlfriend, she's overworking herself. She's pregnant, and I don't think it's a good idea to make her continue working while she is pregnant. Because what if something happened to the baby? What if something happened to her? And what if you ended up losing that baby? I don't even think he even cared. Like, for somebody who wants to start a family, he didn't care a bit about getting a job. Like, he ended up getting a job at Burger King, but it's still the fact that you didn't try convincing your pregnant girlfriend to not work alongside you. You just kind of let her. And then, not to mention the fact that he just started just eviscerating her at some point, and just being just an asshole, and she'd just sit there and take it and make excuses for him, saying that, oh, he's just tired, he's just exhausted, when in reality, no, that's just you being treated like a piece of shit. And I'm just thinking, what is it really worth you throwing your life out of the window for a bum like him? Because the guy was a bum. All he did was sit on his ass, eat, play on the game. That was kind of it. And like I said, he did get the job at Burger King, but at the end of the day, he still was a horrible person, because who the fuck has a conversation about leaving your girlfriend that you intentionally got pregnant to take care of y'all's kid? Like, why the fuck would you have that conversation with two girls that are still minors at the time, and not tell your girlfriend how you actually feel? Like, if the guy didn't want to be in the relationship in the first place, I'm just confused on why he didn't say that. And yeah, and so like they went quiet for like a few months or so. And just yeah, my like I think a fight ended up happening with my ex and her friend. And it got to the point, it got to the point where they just stopped talking for a few days. And I remember one night when I texted my ex saying, hey, if you're out right now and if you have the money, could you buy me a new weed pen because my weed pen went dead? And she was like, yeah, I don't have any money right now, but I can send you my other weed pen. At least I have more than one. And I'm just like, yeah, sure. That's cool. I don't mind. So she drops off the weed pen to me. The next day, I get a text, and I, I, I can't really say what happens because it's not my place. Well, no. She didn't text me. She waited to tell me in person that the asshole ended up hurting her real bad. I mean, I'm assuming you can get what I mean, but she ended up getting hurt. And at the time, I just felt like I felt really fucking shitty, dude. I felt like it was my job to protect her. And it was my job to make sure stuff like this doesn't happen. And like I have to remember now, like I can't have anybody as my responsibility. At the end of the day, I gotta do me, right? But I still loved her. I still, after hearing everything that she's went through, I just didn't want that to happen to her again. I really didn't. And the girlfriend didn't even make it any better. We tried calling her. I tried calling her, hoping she'd understand. But at first, I thought she did. But she has it in her mind that that man is all she needs, and without him, that I'm this is just my assumption, because here we thought that she was taking our side and that she'd actually confront him. But once she went to ask him, hey, did you hurt my friend? Of course he lied, because what type of like sometimes people admit when they do fucked up shit to people, but how many people do you see nowadays admitting to stuff like that? Like, how many people do you see trying to fess up to the shit that they did? And what made her think that he'd tell the truth? And at the time, my ex ended up letting her friend's mom in, also because her friend's mom ended up losing her place. And her being the kind-hearted person she is, she ended up giving her a place to live. And at that point, it got way too crowded for anybody else like me to be in there. Like, it got bad to the point where I had to like sleep on the floor. They broke my ex's bed one time because, like, apparently they were, sorry, cats are messing. Apparently they were, we walked in on them fucking on her bed. Yeah, just bare naked on her bed, not their bed, in her room. Tried telling her, you have every right to like curse them out or just put them in their place, because who the fuck do they think they are? Like, who? I don't care how close you are to me. If you ever put your smelly, dusty, crusty ass on my fucking mattress unless you are my man or my woman, I will never let you put your fucking genitalia on my bed. I wouldn't let you nut on my bed. I wouldn't let you. No. Oh. Mm. Like the audacity. I swear to fucking God. I'm sorry. It's thinking about this bullshit's just bringing back a lot of kindled up anger. I need to go to a shooting range or something. But what was I saying? Yeah. But we tried telling the mom about what happened to her, and she ended up saying no, like no matter it, like you, like no matter, like it doesn't matter if one person in the situation ended up getting like hurt by the other person. It mattered, like both of the people are in the wrong. And she proceeded to berate my friend and just call her just my friend had to kick her out of the house that night, but yeah, just and then here's where that guy that I met in high school comes back to play. Me and him stopped talking because there was a moment where I ended up getting cheated on because I was unaware of like at one point me and him had feelings for each other, but I threw them out of the way because I began to realize the guy wasn't really all of that. He had a lot of insecurities. He had a lot of bottled up shit that he wasn't willing to handle. And I couldn't keep being his fucking therapist. I can't keep being people's fucking therapist. If you got baggage, don't take it out on me. If you got baggage, why the fuck are you coming to me? Make it make sense. Like, what is up with these men? What is up with these men thinking that going to women can be a good outlet for them to either relieve stress or just to rant to when they have nobody else? He's like, nigga was too pussy to use his money because he had a good job. He was working. It wasn't like he was poor. He had a car and everything. He didn't take his money and he didn't use it for things like therapy because it was obvious there was something mental going on with the guy, and it still is, because who the fuck tells their friend that they found a guy that almost ran them over with a skateboard and threatened to beat them with a hammer? Man's been watching too much Marvel movies, DC movies, Joker movies. Man's been on the internet a little too much, and he was easily influenced a little too well. It's like, you know how a kid watches like something stupid on the internet and then just like is just like, oh my god, I want to be like that. But yeah, he was like that, and a lot of shit that he said to me, he was basically trying to be somebody he wasn't. And I kept trying to tell him, yeah, that's fucking wrong. What are you trying to be, a fucking vigilante or some shit? And yeah, but like at times not at times, like once we first started talking, like the trend of him buying us stuff would come up, and I wasn't used to that. And you know, I like, if he wasn't gonna say no, I would ask him for it, and I let him know every single time that we were at a store or something that, hey, if you don't want to use your money on this, that's all you have to say. And like there was a few times where I joked around with him, and like I guess the guy got it in his mind that I was using him, and in reality, no, I wasn't. Me and the guy connected on a lot of a lot of stuff. We were very alike, believe it or not. And anyways, and yeah, like me and him connected a lot on stuff that we liked personality wise. Not everything personality wise, because the guy had a lot of shit that I didn't like about him. And yeah, like and then um I think he was a little sexist too. Like, it's just, you ever been around somebody that like where you get like weird vibes from them and you don't want to, you shouldn't be around them, or you think that this person's like either insane or just a piece of shit, a sad piece of shit who's really just a little boy. Like me, I'm living in the place where like it's rare to find a good man or woman, if that makes sense. Every guy, specifically guys, every guy that I've came across, little boys. Little boys. Everybody in this city that I'm in, nothing but little boys. I don't give a shit if they're grown. I don't even give a shit if they're 60. Most of the men in here, in this city that I'm in, they're pieces of shit. And me and my ex were just one of the unfortunate two to come across a piece of shit. Like, like me, I think the money was just a ploy, like I said, to just get to our bodies, mainly my ex's body. And like one night, like this was like after I got off of my job at McDonald's, like one night, like after work, I went to the smoke shop and like I got like a weed pen to calm my nerves, because like, ooh, excuse me, work was like way too overwhelming for me, and I just needed something to just get me through the night until my shift was over. And like me, I'm the type to like playfully flirt with niggas. Like, I can say, "Hey, you cute," or whatever, or "You got a big butt," or whatever. But like, if it's obvious that they're uncomfortable with it, of course I'm gonna stop, because what do I look like continuing doing something that's obviously uncomfortable to a person? I, like, me being the playful person I was just playfully flirting with them. Nothing was there. I made that clearly I made that as clear as day. Nigga couldn't get hints. And so the next night, not the next night, the next day, my ex comes over and she starts crying. I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she's like, I'm a horrible person, because like I said, this isn't the first instant that it happened. Like, the first time it happened, like, there was a consent on both sides. Like, if if the guy wanted to do something sexual with us, and if we wanted to consent from it, we'd have to get consent from the other partner. And so like, my ex said, yeah, he tried something with me, but before he could go through with it, he ended up stopping and saying, "This is wrong. I have feelings for Ace, aka me." And like, I'm just thinking, like, if that's the case, then why did you do that? Are you toying with her or something? And then at that point, I told him, yeah, I don't think I want to do anything sexual between all three of us at this point. I think I want to close off the relationship. And he understood. I thought he understood that, but the night after I got off of work from McDonald's, she comes over, starts crying, saying that she's a horrible person. Me, I didn't think it was big of a deal, because I thought he just did what he did last time. Yeah, I was still mad, because why the fuck would you do that again? But like, I didn't know that they actually went through with having oral sex. I mean, I don't know how he did it, because like, you know the size of a pill? Yeah. Anyways, just, yeah, after that, I tried confronting him, saying that if you liked her, why didn't you just come to me? And I'm thinking, like, if my friend, like if my ex liked her, like if my ex liked my guy friend, um why didn't they just come and tell me? It's just the fact that I was around a lot of people who didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to communicate at the time, but here's the thing. I was trying. Nobody else wasn't. And yeah. And so I tried telling him, "Hey, why didn't you just come to me? Why didn't you just talk to me? Do you think I'm gonna bite off your head or something?" Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. First time I did curse him out, because, like, what person wouldn't? But me being the overthinker I am, and me still holding him in high regards because, okay, sorry, my friend sent me another message. Me holding him to high regards. Um, I tried actually talking to him, saying, "Dude, let me get your side of the story just in case I'm missing something." Because, like, I'm not saying that I didn't trust my ex at the time. It's just the fact that, what if I'm missing something? I tried giving him the benefit of the doubt, but the guy was just going on like, "Oh, if you didn't want this to happen, why did you initiate sexual stuff with me?" Um, he really couldn't bring that up because he has to remember I stopped that a long time ago. I put a pin in that a long time ago. So why the fuck do you think I would be okay with that? Even if he did try initiating shit with me, I wouldn't be okay with that. Because even though I was like 16 at the time, here's the difference between men and women, right? Men don't have any self-control. Well, not all men, but most of the men I came across, all they do is think about their dicks and losing their virginity. And at the end of the day, he really didn't gain nothing by it. Just my hatred and her hatred. I think he just thought that they fucked. So they're together. He kept trying to text her even though me and her was still together at the time. And if you're seeing this, if you ever do see this, my guy, I trying to think of a good word to I'm trying to think of a good sentence to give a nice fuck you to him, if that makes sense. If you see this, don't come around me. Believe it or not, with you gone, I'm doing a lot better. Well, yeah, I'm doing a lot better. Unlike you, I'm actually trying to better myself. I'm actually trying to be a good person. And I'm actually trying to be happy. And you seemed really unhappy at the time when I was around you, but I hope you stay unhappy. You may put a smile on, you may dress fancy and shit when you're not all that. You're very ugly. You look like a fucking sex offender. And yeah, you're not all that. You may have thought you were, but you weren't. Your dick was very small. It I don't even think it could. Even if you did try it, I don't even think it could have fit inside of me because you're a short guy. This is what I get for trying to deal with short guys. But yeah. But what was I saying? Yeah. So, like, it ended up getting back to my ex's other two friends. And my ex's friend didn't like the fact that I kept trying to talk to him, trying to say, hey, could you actually talk to me? I'm willing to talk to you if you're willing to talk to me. I'm kind of like of course I'm still gonna attempt to talk to you because you're still going around my girlfriend at the time. And like I'm glad my girlfriend realized, hey, it's not a good idea to be around somebody you ended up cheating on with, but just putting that out there. And like yeah, she actually listened. She cut him off, but the only time he came around is basically the guy got used. The guy got used a lot by my ex's friend, and he only came around when it was convenient to her and her boyfriend, to be honest. Like I don't know why he'd think that those were his friends when, like I said, he got used. I don't even think they cared about him either. They only cared about him because he had a car. And yeah. Um a lot, like, after everything else that happened, like I got a lot more stuff said about what they said to my ex, and the fact that they were advocating for me and her to be broken up, and they were advocating for her to get together with the guy that we met in high school, who has a car and who looks like a fucking idiot. um yeah, and they were just trying to break, like, they were just trying to break us up. They ruined a lot. They put a lot of shit in my ex's head, and it ended up making us not talk. Well, we did talk, but we didn't communicate the way we should have. And like I said, we can't really blame ourselves because we were kids. But what happened. I know I can't change it, but like, thinking back on it now, it's like 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 people are right. Like, once shit happens to you, once you start thinking about it, like, now it just starts clicking to you how fucked up and wrong it is. Like like it's just a lot, you know. And the guy came, like the guy came back, the guy that I met from high school. Like, this is like 2023, I think. He came back. I actually talked to him. We got back in contact, and he told me a lot of shit that happened. Basically, the asshole had a lot of opportunities to stop what happened to my ex from happening. Like, if you hear somebody plotting to hurt somebody, why didn't you do anything to stop it? Like this is a genuine question. Like, if you do, you know who I'm talking to. If you are watching this, if you're telling us this type of stuff, if you're a so-called vigilante, if you're bold enough to get into the business of a woman who's getting abused, and like that whole situation, he could have put that woman in danger, because not everybody in a situation with an abuser, that doesn't help all the time. And is my skin getting dry? Holy shit. But yeah, like, it's just, he could have prevented a lot from happening, and he could have prevented a lot of people from getting hurt. Yeah, it's like, a lot of the stuff that happened to me, I noticed that it's stunting me from continuing on with living, and with more and more stuff happening, that type of stuff just ended up breaking me down. And like, it's gotten to the point where I feel like if anything else happens, I'm just gonna say fuck it and kill myself. I'm just gonna say fuck it and end it, if that makes sense. Yeah, of course it makes sense. I mean, I'm being very blunt, so yeah, it should make sense, but I have people around me that's keeping me from doing that. Like my mom, yeah, me and her, we may have our times now and then, but my mom's all that I got. And believe it or not, me and my ex ended up talking it out. And surprisingly, we're in good graces. She completely agrees what she did was fucked up, and she completely agrees what she let happen to me countless times with her friends was fucked up. And she does admit that she could have said something about it, but I ended up forgiving her because she, at the end of the day, even though I'm not excusing her, she didn't mean no harm. She was a fucking kid. So, and like, it's not like anybody was around to teach her shit like this was wrong. Me, I had to keep telling her certain shit that was happening to her and me wasn't normal. And it's sad because at the time she was in the care of her mother. Her mother should have taught her all of that. Like I shouldn't have I shouldn't have been the one to teach her most of the shit that shit that she needs to know to get by in order not to be in danger again. And me, it's not like, well, I've had my mom put some stuff in my head to where like I won't forget it. And like it's just like kind of like a like not principles, like it's like, what's the word, like it's lessons, that she's taught me, and I took those lessons to heart. Like sometimes, like some of them, sometimes some of the messages, not messages, some of the stuff that I know, and like in order to notice red flags from people, I had to learn from the internet. I had to teach myself. And I don't even think she had the stuff to teach herself at the time, because like at the end of the day, like we can't really, it's sad that we can't really rely on people like our parents or adults or teachers or anybody in this fucking country to teach us anything. We can't find people. It's rare that we find people who are actually willing to teach us the stuff that we need to know. And it sucks because it's just going to continue down the line. I don't want any other young girl to go through what we've been through. I mean, sometimes it's unavoidable, but like if you're like my age, or like, I don't know, like a teenager or something, like, and if you're seeing this, just know, oof, my throat, just know that just like whoever's been through what I've been through on the internet, who knows, maybe nobody will come across this video. I hope they do, because I feel like, I feel like this is my fuck my this is my version of helping people that don't have that type of help, because I like helping people, and I like helping people. I like seeing people, you know, strive. And I like seeing people happy. And all I want is for everybody to be happy. And I want I want any little girl or grown woman, any woman, any woman or man, anybody who went through the same shit that I went through, just like don't depend on you can depend on people, but you can't depend on everybody. You can't trust them. You can't just be friends with them. You gotta watch out who you're with, because I don't want nobody to be as I don't I wouldn't say damaged. Well, fuck. Like, I don't want anybody to be as hurt as we've gotten, because it's not cool. It's left a lot of mental problems and a lot of stress for me. And this video is my way of working through it. At least I can't afford therapy, or nobody's trying to take me to therapy, but yeah. Who knows, maybe I'll post more videos frequently like this, but I don't know.